I was a part of that industry. I was set to be one of the leaders of it, except for one thing. I did not agree with what they were doing. I did not agree with it. And I vowed to break it. I vowed to change it. My agenda is a cruelty-free agenda. My agenda is to make it possible for children like Blue Ivy and Northwest to just be kids. And be talented, if they are. Find their way naturally, reasonably. They should be children. I begged my dad to let me sign a contract when I was 13. And my father refused. I was so grateful as an adult that my father didn't allow me to convince him to go off to be a snack for the devil, that my father knew exactly what this industry was like and what it did to kids. My father knew and cared and said no. And I got my deal after I was grown on my own. And then I found out why my dad was trying to keep me away. Oh. But when I made it in, my dad said, well, if God let you make it through, there's got to be a reason for you to be there. So make sure you do God's will while you're there. And I did. With parental advisory stickers all over my album, I tricked the world into listening to the truth. And it made it. My cult following, who have been with me since the beginning, who have been with me since 98, 99, they know. Because to this day, I still have people come to me and tell me how the songs that I've written over the course of the past 30 years of my life have made a difference. See, maybe that's just the problem. Maybe I was too committed to telling the truth. When you are an intercessor, blessed by God, He gives you a very, 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 very special skill. The ability to be able to see things from both sides, the ability to be able to go between both worlds, to take from the devil to give back to God what is God's. I've always been God's secret shopper. That's not about to change now. I tell you what, when it gets to the point where a person keeps telling you something in advance, and as time matures the truth and reality steps into view, they're always right. If you have someone that is able to do that and you keep questioning them, especially now, you need to find yourself a doctor and you need to get yourself some help. I told everyone. How about you go to bed, idiot? Take your own advice. Yes, because Yeshua loves us. I tell you who don't. These Illuminati people. They don't give a good damn. T.D. Jakes has such a reprobate mind that he actually thought God was going to save his duplicitous ass. That's how much in denial he was about the reality of God. That's how far gone from God T.D. Jakes is. That's how far gone he is. That he literally had to wait right before jury selection to step down from that congregation that he's led astray. What's going to happen to Jakes? Oh, Kirk's going to get exposed. Oh, yeah. See, once you remove the firewall that is T.D. Jakes, it's going to lead right back to Kirk. It's going to lead right back. All of his twerking for the Lord. All of his subliminal messages encouraging people to honor the goat over the lamb. Y'all remember him and Cheryl James? They did that record Stomp. Talking about stomping in the name of the Lord and all of that. And the first place I heard it was at a strip club. With a $2 hoe clapping her ass cheeks to it. Yeah, but what Lord is she twerking for? Because it surely isn't our Lord and Savior. Beyonce needs to go down for everything. For everything. Right with those fools that she signed herself up with. People need to start getting wise. They do. They need to start getting wise. Kirk Franklin was friends with Robert Kelly. And not once have you heard him say one word about his friend, who he knew well enough to call him on his home phone. Yeah, Stomp. That's the first time I heard it. At a strip club. With a $2 hoe clapping her cheeks for change. And when I said, how in God's name are you playing a gospel song? They brought the record by. Even hoes need the Lord. That was the response. It's funny. Kirk can't seem to stop embarrassing himself at religious events. And Cheryl James' husband of almost 30 years comes out as gay. And she's in therapy trying to figure out how that happened. I'm just trying to figure it out. I want to know. Like, I really do. I want to know. Your husband been gay for how long, ma'am? Y'all was supposed to be the hip-hop gospel husband and wife and Y'all didn't know? Y'all didn't know that Cheryl Salt James' husband is homosexual? Y'all didn't know? We ain't even gotta talk about the Wades. They relying on cancer diagnoses to get everybody to forget that they was what they was doing, that they was trying to become the new Will and Jada. Y'all didn't know? Yeah. That's why they got divorced. He came out the closet. Y'all didn't know? You was with this man for almost 30 years and you couldn't tell that he liked penis just as much as you? That's interesting. Especially as many gay people as she's worked with throughout the years. If anybody should know the difference between a straight man and a gay man, it should be old Cheryl. I'm just trying to figure it out. Because nobody hides a secret like that from the person who's supposed to be closest to them for that long. I'm sick and tired of all of these people who play in the face of God. I'm so sick of it. You cannot serve two masters. Now she's saying that she in therapy trying to figure out, because there's so much. Because if he was gay, then what does that say for the rest of her life? She's been with him. Their daughter is approaching 30 and she ain't know he's gay. Yeah. But see, the thing about that statement that you just made, this is interesting. But you call your ex gay, Jag? Yeah. And you want to know what the key word in that statement that you just made? Ex. See? Ex. Ex. See? It's funny. Y'all be answering your own questions as you saying them and you don't even hear yourselves. Ex. Meaning no longer together. Meaning got rid of. Meaning out the way. Meaning I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah. Second I figured out they sodomite, they was gone. I'm a bisexual woman. Bisexual men have always been attracted to me. They've been attracted to that energy that I have, that they mistake as masculine rather than just strength. None of them are okay, sweetie. Because Dana has done her own dirty work too. I don't like the fact that ever since gay rights has been recognized and domestic partnerships have been recognized, 333, I don't like the fact that all of these so-called gay people justify lying, living in the closet any longer. Dana's gay. She's been gay. For those who are gay, they should be able to say it at this point in time. They shouldn't have. Yeah, it was the abomination that legalized it. It's not. You're lying. If you're in the closet, you're lying. That's why I came out almost 7 years ago. Yeah, I was 41. Because for me to keep pretending that I'm something that I'm not, whatever I am, that's between me and God. And I got to deal with that But lying about who you are? God says, come as you are. And the only reason people are still afraid is because they believe that the church was telling the truth about homosexuality, and it hasn't. It's just that simple. And I don't know who you are. You Matunda Ducci, whatever. You gone. You removed. Let's make sure you gone. Because running around asking people questions about things that they're admitting is only inflammatory. She wasn't acting and setting off. She was just being herself, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. You know? And people that keep asking me to talk about any lawsuit is stupid, because it's all a distraction. The simple fact that people still think it's appropriate to lie about who they are. It's funny. The church has been lying about homosexuality for many years. Many years. And they've been taking the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and they've been misappropriating it. They've been saying it's something that it's not. And humanity has just sat there and ate it all up. Let's be very clear about Sodom and Gomorrah. It was not destroyed because of their sexuality. It was destroyed because they were evil. And what they were doing with their sexuality was demonic. That's why the crime is called sodomy. Sodomites. They were destroyed because they had become evil. Nothing more, nothing less. But it became an opportunity for the fraudulent church houses to condemn the very practices they were practicing. And that's what we're about to see happen again. Sodom and Gomorrah is about to be destroyed again. The wrath of God is real. Yes, the gatekeepers. God doesn't destroy people for being who they are. God destroys evil. Period. The amount of homosexuals that have been running religious church houses for years. It's wild. Not acknowledged. But the amount of sodomites who have been allowed to operate in church houses for years is evil. Every minister that's taking advantage of his female parishioners should be charged with sex crimes. Every minister or religious leader who has touched a child inappropriately and then shamed the parents and then triangulated and got the whole church to run down on a family for telling the truth about his crimes against God should be thrown in jail. And it's not just a black thing. It's all religious houses. The Catholic Church and the people that they have appointed have ruined more children. The simple fact that it's still operating goes to show you how weak this world is. Because you can't tell me that a lot of the crap that's happened in the Catholic Church hasn't revolved around human trafficking. There's no way you have that many crimes against children done internationally. Grand Rising. It's disgusting. And to see how black folks have just embraced the indoctrination of the weirdness. It's disgusting. And people still show up. And they still pay the tithes. And all they're doing is supporting trafficking in their churches, in God's house. Trafficking. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You have proof? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The question is why don't nobody want to see the proof? Why don't nobody want the truth? Why don't they want it? You can all sit here and you can fool yourselves, or you can take this opportunity and time to use it to get closer to God, because they have all led the world astray. All of them.